Hey guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's video, I want to talk about how you can get your rats comfortable being on their back like this. So this is a question I get asked sometimes, usually in regards to them being pet, but I want to talk about just generally getting them used to being on their backs. So first of all, you want to make sure that your rat is okay with being handled. So they should be okay with being picked up, or at least climbing onto your hand for a treat. And if they're not okay with handling it, you're going to want to work on that first, simply because being on their back is a more vulnerable position, and if they're not okay with, normal handling, then being put on their back is going to be very scary for them. So once your rat is okay with normal handling, then you want to start to incorporate holding them on their back. Sometimes you can put them on a back real quick, then put them right side up and give them a treat. And I like to use a liquid treat for this, something that they can lick off your finger, because this way they can't run off with it. And this means that you can actually start to reinforce being on their back by giving them the liquid treat while they're on their back and letting them lick it. And then as soon as you are done, you can put them right side up and they don't get the treat anymore. So they learn that being on their back is a really good thing. Now, after doing that for a while, the next step is to introduce some small solid treats. So an entire Cheerio is pretty big for a rat. So you can break it up into around 3 or 4 pieces, then flip them over and give them the treat, and then see if they'll eat it. And if you've been working with the liquid treats before, they should probably eat it. Although I will say, if they're not really hungry, then they might be less prone to eating it, simply because they're not hungry and they'll want to stash it instead. So make sure that they aren't super full when you do this, because if they are super full, then you're going to have less success. So after you've done that for a while, you can start to give them larger treats. And this is, again, going to depend on how full they are. But if they are hungry enough to eat the treat and you have worked on holding them on their back before, then they should be pretty happy to eat the full treat right there in your hands. So that's pretty much how you go about it. Of course, you want to make sure the other rats can't steal treats from them when they're on their backs, because that will make them more wary about being on their backs. Usually I stop the other rats from taking treats in most cases, but especially on their backs. And so this becomes sort of a safe position for them that they like to be in. Other than that, you really don't have to do too much. They adjust pretty quickly to being on their backs once they are okay with handling. And as for them being okay with being pet on their back and things like that, that really comes with age. Young rats typically don't like to cuddle, but younger rats that enjoy human interaction and handling early on are usually the same ones that will become more cuddly as they age to around a year or a year and a half old. So don't give up if you have younger rats that don't enjoy being pet, because that's completely natural. But as long as they like human interaction and they're good with handling, those are great signs that they will later probably enjoy being pet in some way. And if you want them to enjoy being pet on their back, it's good to accustom them to being held on their back and kind of eating on their back and so forth early on, just because this way they will be comfortable on their back when they get to that cuddly stage. So by kind of introducing it early on, you set them up for success. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this helps you if you wanted to get your rats used to being on their back. I think being on their back is one of the cutest things that you can do with rats, so I like to teach mine to be okay with being on their back pretty early on. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!